I like eating. I like eating bread. You can't tell because I walk a lot. In fact, we walked and walked and walked and walked with Jesus for years. Amazing, glorious, life-filled years. And I saw him do things that to this day cause me to well up inside. The liberty and the freedom that he brought to people, the way he would deal with the smallest children, the way he would deal with those that society pushed to the fringes, he seemed to draw them into his heart. We learned from him, from his teachings, and they were good years. And we never for a moment questioned if this man was the answer we've been looking for. Because every day he reconfirmed to our lives that there is no sacrifice too great to give up to follow him. Life with Jesus was such a reward. But I can't eat bread like this for long. Without remembering that night. Really, from the outside, it was not very different from any other night. The meal was not even very different from any other meal. We had eaten with Jesus many times before. We had even eaten that particular Passover meal with Jesus before. We had eaten at that location before. It was the same people. Really, the only thing that was really different was the look on Jesus' face, like a fervency, like a resolve, like a deep breath before you have to do something. You know, the only time I'd ever seen that look before was in my own father's face. Before he would go out and sacrifice the Passover lamb. He loved animals. He loved sheep. He loved the lambs the most. He used to carry them on his shoulder. He would sing, and I'd catch him in the field dancing with lambs. When it came time for Passover to honor the Jewish law, and he had to sacrifice, he would get that look, that focus, and that resolve. And that's what Jesus had that night. And he started speaking about all kinds of things that I didn't really understand. He said, I'm going away. I thought, great, I love road trips. And where I'm going, you can't come. I'm going to prepare a place for you. We had just gone ahead to prepare this place for him. And he said, I'm going away. And he started teaching us about saying, I am the vine and you are the branches. Remain in me, and if my words remain in you and you remain in me, then you will bear much fruit. But why are we talking about gardening? I didn't understand. And at one point, when it seemed that and he'd spoken so many things, and I don't think we were understanding very much. He said, there's so much more I wish I could tell you in this moment. You're not ready for it. That'll be like a failure. But then he seemed to cheer a little when he said, but there's one who's coming. The counselor is coming. And he will guide you into all truth. He will take what he sees of the Father and show that to you. He will reveal to you the things to come. We finished our meal. We sang a hymn. And then we went for a walk. We went back to a place called Gethsemane. It was a beautiful garden. We've been there many times before. I knew the way. Jesus didn't have much more teaching for us that night. He began to be very earnest. He began to be very passionate, and his voice began to do that thing when you know someone means it. And he asked us to wait and to pray. While he went a little bit farther and took a few disciples with him and went off to pray, just maybe a stone's throw away. So I remember I began to pray on my knees. I was exhausted. I find that if I'm exhausted on a prayer, sometimes it helps to just pray kind of sitting. Sometimes it works better just to pray when you kind of lay down.
And I remember waking up, and it felt like I had just kind of dozed off, and I thought at first it was a dream, and Jesus was in it, but it wasn't a dream. It was way too cold out. Jesus was saying, "Why are you sleeping? All of you." And I looked kind of in a daze and saw that we had all fallen asleep. He said, "Pray that you won't fall into temptation." He was sweating, and I was cold. And he got to get me. And this time I stayed on my knees, and I found a rock to help me stay on my knees.